you see in the middle Utrecht, and I'm working for a military defense line called the New Dutch Water Line, which is from Amsterdam to Utrecht, more or less to Dordrecht here. So the defense line is like here, in a circle, half circle, and it's consisting of 50 fortresses. These are the fortresses, the red spots over there. So I'm responsible for redeveloping the 50 fortresses together. And we're doing that with 25 municipalities, 5 ministries, and 5 provinces. But we are also, this is a picture of an English fortress, by the way, but it gives the problems we have because I'm also living in the Randstad, and that means the Randstad is in the Netherlands, the big cities of Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, and Utrecht. And it's one of the most densely regions in the world, with Bangladesh and the Netherlands. So we're living with 60 million people in a small area. So with the pressure of these 60 million people, spatial and environmental qualities tend to degrade. And at the moment, we're not reaching the European standardization on air quality because of the amount of cars these 60 million people are using. That's why every municipality, and there's come Anton in the picture, from the municipality of Utrecht, make their own traffic and transport policy and sustainability policy to reach this quality standards of air quality. For example, the municipality of Utrecht made the following mobility and accessibility planning until 2020. Network of high quality bus and tram lines, introducing suburban rail system, Randstadspoor, so a quick train connection between the big cities. Traffic transfer points at city borders, covering over the A2, that's the biggest highway between Utrecht City and the Leidse Rijn, that's east of Utrecht, a new highway. Underground public parking in the city center, and a network of quality bicycle lanes and bike parkings. And furthermore, public bike rental, and the Utrecht Air Quality Plan will be adopted by the City Council in November 2009. So we're now implementing. And now comes the connection with the fortresses. Because our fortresses are in an urban context, as you can see, the 4 lunettes, we call them, lunette 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 4 fortresses. 4 fortresses where Anton is responsible for. And now give the floor to Anton.
Yeah. As a city of Utrecht, we own 8 fortresses around the city. You see them here. The fortress aan de Klop, de Gagel, which is part of this European repair project. The fortress of Blauwkapelle, the Bild, and the 4 lunettes we saw just before. Can you change that? The municipal council decided that we, first of all, of course, have to have the restoration, the preservation of these fortresses of the New Dutch Water Line. So we start a development plan for all of these fortresses, and here you see the restoration of the fortress aan de Klop in 2004. And this was at the reopening of the fort in 2007. You see a lot of people, and the second aim in the redevelopment process is to find new and modern functions, social relevant functions for these fortresses. And the third aim is public access, and that is what we are going to talk about today in this small introduction. If you look at a planning level, we have 3 levels on which we do research and plan for our visitors on the fortresses. First of all, the regional level, the city level, and of course, as the third one, the site level.
Yeah, let me add something. We have we calculated at the moment that we have 500,000 visitors a year on our fortresses. So let's say 100,000 come to the fortresses in Utrecht. So we have to make a transport plan for our visitors, so they can park or use the fortresses in a good way.
Here you see the example of the situation of Fortress De Gagel on the northern outskirts of our city. This is the northern ringway of Utrecht, and just on the ringway is Fortress De Gagel. And here's the other fort, Fort Ruigenhoek, and here's another fort, Fort Blauwkapelle. So you see the development of our infrastructure and the highways and the circular ways around Utrecht, and the redevelopment of our fortresses are very integrated. So you need an integrated plan to do so. Utrecht is surrounded by a square of different highways. The main highway north-south from Amsterdam to the south of the Netherlands. This highway is from Rotterdam and The Hague to the German border. And here you see a highway which is going up to the northeast of the Netherlands in the direction of Groningen and Leeuwarden. This one, and this one are already there as a highway. And the interconnection in between here is at the moment a regional way, but we're going to upgrade that to a complete highway.
And at the border of that highway are lying our fortresses. So the question is now, on national and regional planning, how do we involve those 3 Utrecht fortresses in the national and regional planning? So it's becoming a new road, an important road, but they're making the plan now. So how to involve these fortresses in the plan? And
the goal, of course, is create a win-win situation in the mobility and also in the redevelopment of those fortresses. If we focus on the northern highway, on the northern outskirts of the city of Utrecht, here you see one of the research designs. Fortress De Gagel, Fortress Ruigenhoek and Fortress Blauwkapelle. This is at the moment a regional road, but we're going to upgrade that to a full 4-lane highway. And one of the plans is to create a transferium in the middle here, so you can change the mode of mobility. People arrive here by car. There's a great car park in this building, and you can rent a bike here. You can start walking on trails, and so you go to the fortresses, but not by parking and big ways to the fortresses, but immediately from the highway people enter this transferium, and there they start cycling or walking. As I said, we aim for a win-win situation. So you could see that the development of the big highway here is a threat to the immediate environment of Fortress De Gagel, but we see it as a chance. So we want to integrate the highway into the landscape around the fortress. So we are doing research at the moment. There is an historic inundation channel, a flooding channel here, but at the moment it's cut by the regional road, and we're going to plan a aqueduct over the highway, so we restore the formal historical connection. And in that way, we're still working out these plans. We try to create a win-win situation for the cultural heritage and also the mobility on regional and national levels.
The other thing we developed for the 50 fortress is signs, as you can see. And the signs are also developed for cars on regional level to get them to the correct route to the fortifications. So when you're on the highway from Paris to Amsterdam, you see now signs, the new Dutch water line, and you know that you are in the area, and you take the next direction into our area, and you come to one of our fortresses. So that's how we attract tourists from Paris to our fortifications.